Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Baxter Student Ambassador Program webinar. Presenting for us this time is Angele Prevost, one of our finalists from Algonquin College. Now, before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone that if you have any questions during this presentation, just type them into the Q&A box or the chat box, which are both found in your Zoom toolbar, and those questions will be answered after the presentation has finished. Hi, Angele, how are you today?
I'm great, Dan. Thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So since you are already sharing your screen with us, feel free to get started whenever you're ready.
All right. So first and foremost, I want to thank you all for taking the time to be here this morning. I cannot say how much of an honor it is to be presenting this webinar to such successful industry professionals. Today, I will be showing you why your clients should fly on board with Air Transat. I will touch on their commitment to sustainability, their brand new aircraft, some in-flight perks. My webinar will inform you on the agent benefits to booking Transat, and afterwards I will be showcasing their new direct seasonal flight to the fantastic Copenhagen, and why you should be the one to sell it. And finally, I will show you why this capital city sells itself even in the winter months. Most of the information and visuals I will be showcasing have been taken from Air Transat's resources and the city's official tourism website. I will link it all at the end of my presentation. Before I begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Angele, et je suis une Franco-Ontarienne. I grew up in a small French town in northeastern Ontario with just over 1,200 residents. Growing up in such a small community, I saw firsthand how impactful tourism can be. Smooth Rock Falls has hosted a festival for 12 years now, putting them on the map and benefiting greatly the local economy. I moved to Ottawa in 2012 for university, and I was marveled at our capital city and all that it had to offer. But I knew I still wanted to see more. So I self-planned trips around Ontario and even spent 2 months backpacking around Europe with a friend. What a summer. I'm currently working at the Fairmont Chateau Laurier, trying to gain as much knowledge as I can before I move on in May. My next adventure is Peru. I've been planning this trip as my graduation gift, and I cannot wait to finish this proverbial and literal climb of Machu Picchu. I'm so excited to be officially entering this incredible and thriving industry. All in all, I really wanted to find a career that would enable my experiences and passion in food, hospitality, tourism, and travel to come together. This is why I'm here today, a trained chef with a case of the travel bug, with many aspirations and a strong motivation to share the world with the world. But how do we get there? Well, companies like Air Transat are making it possible every single day. Based in Montreal, Transat is the third largest Canadian airline and have been paving a way for the leisure travel market since 1987, when they flew their first flight to Acapulco. They were named the world's best leisure airline of 2018 and 2019 by Skytrax, a very honorable mention. They fly to 60 destinations in 25 countries, mostly in Europe and the Americas. Air Transat employs over 5,000 people, but the thing that sets them apart the most is their commitment to sustainability. Transat is absolutely a frontrunner in the industry when it comes to corporate social responsibility. They have achieved this by focusing their efforts into 4 pillars. Environmental aspects, like reducing greenhouse gas emission and responsible procurement. They focus on people, such as cooperating with communities directly and ensuring employee satisfaction and development. Transat also works to have sustainable operations and ensures that their customers are aware of their own footprint and impact. They make those extra moves to really stand out. Things like adding ample charging stations at their head offices and removing all single-use plastics in the cafeterias. In 2018, they reached a huge milestone, a result of a 12-year commitment and related efforts to responsible tourism. Transat had to report on more than 200 indicators to receive this status, putting them on the map for sustainability and making them the first major international tour operator to complete the Travel Life certification. They are already working on a plan for the years to come and have recently launched a new addition to their fleet, the incredible Airbus A321neo LR. This aircraft is powered by engines with the lowest fuel consumption and emissions of their class. They're adding 15 of these to their fleet over the next few years. Once you're on the flight, you'll notice an innovatively quiet cabin and soothing mood lighting. The extra room you feel, that's not just a dream. They even added a whole 3.5 centimeters of width to economy seats. Now you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the improved personal entertainment systems with USB ports because you're on vacation now. Transat has been named an agent favorite for a reason. I'm certain this isn't surprising to any of you since this award was offered by none other than Baxter Media themselves. Their user-friendly reservation system and exceptional services have kept them as one of the most successful and relevant tour operators in the leisure market. They often offer amazing deals and rewards for their customers looking to book vacation packages and early bird discounts for those planners out there like me. Their flights are all fairly priced and every cost is clear and outlined. There are no surprises. Their website is incredibly user-friendly and even has a special portal with extra resources just for agents. They also offer competitive commission varying between 4 to 10% on airfare and vacation packages sold in Canada. Transat has so many resources available to aid in the selling process. Whether that is destination brochures, interactive web pages, booking incentives and promotions, or even comparison tools. You can find it all at airtransat.com. I had no issues finding information for this webinar whatsoever. I pulled up a print screen of the booking window, and as you can see, they give you options to see the lower prices on different dates. However, this isn't available here because they only fly out twice a week. You can also see the different classes of service, Eco Budget, Eco Standard, Eco Flex, and Club Class here, and all the things that are included. You'll even notice here gourmet menu, and we'll get to that in a bit. That's new on their services. And all the different classes are indicated with the price here, so you can choose what fits your needs the best. Essentially, you get what you pay for. Let's check out what's new when you're on board. In honor of their new direct flight destination, we'll be focusing on this journey today. This year, Air Transat has launched their new direct flight to the capital city of Denmark. They are the only ones to offer nonstop flights to Copenhagen out of Montreal. They will fly out twice a week on Tuesdays and Sundays from June 16th to September 20th, with rotating daily departure times each week. The flight is a comfortable 7 to 8 hour transatlantic journey on the new Airbus. For those who fear airplane food, they've even added gourmet meal options available for pre-order up to 72 hours before your flight. So as you can see, I've just pulled up some of the examples they gave on their menu, and then a breakfast option here. So it is complimentary for the club class. However, there is a charge for every other class of service. The $18 represents the breakfast, and then the $25 is for lunch and dinner. It actually seems like a very great deal. And just like that, you're already landed in Copenhagen. Well, the wonderful Copenhagen, as the locals like to say, has so much to offer. Known as one of the happiest countries to live, the small country of Denmark proves that Nordic countries are the place to be. Copenhagen especially has an innate quirk that pulls you right in. They have amazing food, modern architecture, and historical charm like no other. To make it even better, once you arrive at the airport, it's only a 12-minute metro ride to the city center. To get you on that metro, you may want to consider the Copenhagen card. It's an easy and cost-effective way to get around the city. It includes free admission to all tourist sites, free public transportation, plenty of discounts, and it's all available digitally, including the e-guide and map. If you want to blend in with the locals, you may choose to rent a bike. They are widely available around the city, and your hostel or hotel will probably have them for rent. There are even more bikes than people in this city. With all that moving around, don't forget to take in the architecture. The urban parks filled with art, the historical buildings around the Round Tower, and even trampolines embedded in the sidewalk around the harbor. The city is incredible to navigate. It's easy and can be done on foot if preferred. Plus, after all that walking around Rosenberg Gardens, you're sure to work up an appetite for some amazing cuisine. Copenhagen has been on the foodie map for quite some time now. They have 17 Michelin star rated restaurants and some of the best and oldest eats in the world. I chose to highlight a few. Noma, its world famous restaurant, is responsible for paving the way for new Nordic cuisine. They have a hip urban garden on site and source most of their produce from there. They also serve an amazing 20-course tasting menu. Talk about gourmet. Refn is an amazing community-built and sustained food hall. They are set up in shipping containers. This type of establishment has paved the way for a new style of eatery that are popping up, the food halls. Think of an upscale food court that's often licensed. Schönemann, one of the world's oldest restaurants, have been serving the best local food since 1877. Schmurberg is their version of an open-faced sandwich, usually topped with great condiments and toppings that can range from eggs, seafood, raw beef, on fresh rye bread. This one here is actually pickled herring, and it's from Schönemann. You'll likely see some hot dog carts on every street corner. They're a cheap and convenient way to get a meal in on the go. The most famous type of sausages you'll find in Copenhagen is the rød pølse, which translates to red sausage, which essentially is just a sausage dyed red. Danes love their coffee, but how do you think they're so happy? They have coffee shops around everywhere, mostly locally run and accompanied by delicious pastries. I wanted to highlight the all-around versatility that Copenhagen can be, not just a summer destination. It's easy to forget that traveling in the winter can be extremely beautiful and so much fun. For me, it's the best time to do that food tour. Tivoli Gardens Winter Wonderland is the place to be. They've got huge ice skating rinks and interactive light shows. They've worked hard at making the world's second oldest amusement park viable for the winter season. Who wouldn't want to enjoy a nice hot beverage surrounded by the magic of a snow-dusted carousel? Imagine the Instagram pictures. If that's not your hot cup of tea, you can check out the Mamma Mia show in the concert hall, or you can go shopping at the beautiful Christmas markets. They even have these amazing little sailing hot tubs you can rent with some friends for around $400 Canadian per tub. It's a little pricey, but worth it for a unique and relaxing experience with amazing views. Just keep in mind that you must book 24 hours in advance, and they are closed Monday and Tuesdays. It's no surprise that Copenhagen was named Lonely Planet's top city to visit in 2019. And now, thanks to Air Transat, it's even more accessible this summer. Transat has been innovating for decades to create the best on the market, and their passengers expect nothing less. With that many destination offerings, amazing customer service, and strong sustainability practices, you can pitch Air Transat on a good conscience. With their new destinations and direct flights, selling those lesser traveled gems like Copenhagen just got a whole lot easier. Because you never just sell a flight or a place, you aspire to sell the experience of a lifetime every time. I'd like to thank Baxter Media for creating incredible opportunities for this program for students all over Canada. Thank you to all the sponsors, but most importantly to Air Transat. And finally, thank you to my teachers, Andrea and Donna, for providing useful tools, information, and support throughout my entire journey at Algonquin College. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you very much, Angele. So I'll keep an eye on the Q&A box and chat box here, so that if anyone wants to submit any questions, I can read them out to you.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Andrea asks, what, if anything, did you find was the most challenging part of preparing for this webinar?
I think just taking the time out of all my other engagements to put together this webinar was a challenge. However, it was a really easy thing to do because, you know, looking up travel and companies like that and looking up things to do in a beautiful city, that was not the challenge. I think doing my other assignments on top of this was the challenge.
Okay, thank you. And Angele, if you were to fly to Copenhagen in the next year, what would you do on your first day there?
I would probably do a free walking tour. That's what I tend to do in every city that I get there, when I get there, just to get my feel around, to get to know some of the major sites, and to just have a little way around the city before I start my real adventure.
Great, thank you. And Odette is wondering, in your research, did you come across and were you aware that we offer this destination only during the summer?
Yes, I do mention that from June 16th to September 20th, but I did want to highlight Copenhagen as a tourist destination all year round because they're not just a summer destination.
Excellent, right, okay, thank you. Okay, there's nothing else yet, but we'll give it another minute or so just in case any other questions pop up. And Odette asks, she says, we have recently added new excursions to our offerings, allowing clients to visit other Scandinavian cities. Did you come across that in your research?
I did. I actually found a lot of great resources for different tours available from even Copenhagen, including Norway as well, together as a destination. And there's plenty of brochures available on the Transat website that were really fun to peruse as well.
Great, thank you. And Odette also asks, out of curiosity, what do you know about the no-fly movement?
I'm not too familiar with that movement. If I could take a wild guess, it might be concerning, sustainability and trying to fly a little less, especially with those short haul flights, because those tend to be the worst ones when it comes to emissions. And so, especially rail in Europe is very popular, and I do encourage people to travel around like that when they can. But for me, coming from North America, I would have to fly. But for those who can take public transportation, drive, rent a car together, take buses and trains, definitely do it. It is beneficial to everyone in the long run.
Okay, right, thank you. Odette says, yes, that's exactly it. Congratulations on your great research and presentation.
Thank you so much.
So I do believe that's it for the questions today. But thank you all. I want to thank everyone that tuned in on the webinar today. Thank you all for taking time out of your day. And Angele, thank you so much for presenting for us.
Thanks, Dan. Have a great day, everyone.
You as well. And on behalf of Baxter Media, I'd like to thank you for participating in the 2020 Baxter Student Ambassador Program. We'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.